Hi and welcome back to another video of jPlay. I am Marcus and today I want to do a solo playthrough of Age of Civilization. This game was on my to playlist for quite a while. I got it through a trade relatively recently. I gave it a spin in multiplayer and also one run in the solo mode. So I think rules-wise I should be in a good shape. Strategy-wise I don't think so. This game comes with two solo modes actually. A very relatively basic one, a skirmish mode that is part of the standard rules here. And there is a scenario guide which introduces 5 more of those things. And I think this is what I want to focus on, playing the very first scenario from the scenario guide today. So we are playing the Age of Wonders, 1400 BC to 200 BC. The Age of Wonders is coming. You need to build as quick as possible against the Empire. That's the solo AI. Will your kingdom achieve greatness, or will the Empire prevent you from completing all of your wonders? And here on the left hand side you see all of the other scenarios: Age of Wonders, the Silk Road, the Lost Civilization, Mongol, Devastation and Death and Rebirth. All of those scenarios typically come with their own little setup, their own little rules tweaks in respect to what components you are using. So we are using some of the variants from the core rulebook, like those events for example. I will explain you everything as I go, but maybe let's have a quick look at our objective for this game. At the end of round 6 you reach more points and have more wonder cards than the so-called Empire. And in this scenario we are playing exactly with those 7 wonders here, and they have to be laid out in this particular order. The game really comes with a ton more different wonders, and in a normal multiplayer game you shuffle them all and bring out, I think, 6 if I recall that correctly. But in this case it's really everything preset. So from the Great Pyramid up to the Colossus we have some components here. On most of those cards, those only help the Empire. I can still go for the wonder, but I don't get any of those resources. But it's important for me making sure maybe that the Empire doesn't get all of those valuable resources. As for the different civilization, that's also preset by the scenario. So we have the Hittites, the Babylonians, the Persia, Nubia, Greece and Egypt. But really there's a ton of different civilizations which you're also typically using in a multiplayer game. You really shuffle them all together and lay them out, and really makes for a very high replayability of this game when playing multiplayer, that is. And I think last but not least, let's have a quick look at the action row here. That's also pre-seeded, so also something that you typically do in a multiplayer kind of game. If you're not playing with any of the variants, you give them all a shuffle and lay them out. But yeah, there are some recommendations on how you should do that for your very first session, or for your first sessions, that is. In this case we are not playing with all of those. 2 of those are face down. At least one of those is the conquest, and I think the other one is the culture action. That is something that we are not seeing here, but also something I explain you as I go. And also those events here are pre-seeded. Typically you also shuffle them and you lay them out at the last three rounds of the game. In this case the scenario really clearly tells you, hey, this scenario needs to go there, this and there, and that's how you deal with. So yeah, there is definitely a lack of randomness in this game. The only real randomness is in respect to the AI cards here. So this is a deck of only 3 cards. Of course we shuffle those, and don't let this fool you. The order in which those cards are coming up significantly will change what the AI is doing every round. Speaking about the Empire, they will start the game with 2 victory points right off the bat. And keep in mind, at the end of round 6 I have to have more victory points than the Empire, and I also have to have more wonders. Getting victory points against the Empire, at least in this scenario, is really not that difficult, at least in my former experience. So I was always able to be in the lead. The problem really is around getting the money for the wonders. I think that's really the crucial piece. And again, if the Empire builds their 4th wonder, we can pretty much call the game and consider this a big loss. Okay, I think let's get cracking. The solo player will always go first. Maybe let's have a quick look at our player board here. So we are starting with one of those science boards, and we get pretty much not an upgrade but a different card. So typically the basic science board looks like this. This scenario tells us, hey, we will start the game with the wheel, which is really important for this scenario because it makes the wonder action cheaper for you. And keep in mind, we want to build wonders like crazy. We start the game with 3 of those coins, and I'm really using all the components from the game, and I think they look okay. It's wooden pieces. Yeah, typically you can really go with metal coins, whatever floats your boat. Again, in this playthrough, I really decided to use the components as they come. Then let's get started, and again, I'm the starting player. My first choice, I have to go with the civilization right now. I have to, because otherwise I won't be able to do any actions this round. And they're all great. They all come with benefits. Some of those benefits kick in a little bit later. So let's take Greece, for example. They have a pretty great ability. They only come with 2 meeples, so that's definitely a problem. But they will give us 2 military points. Problem is, we don't have a culture action. It's not coming at all, which would typically give us 1 extra victory point. So those stars are victory points. But getting a discount on research definitely sounds like a very solid idea, actually. Egypt is great because they give us at least 1 military point. They come with 4 meeples, and wonders are cheap. I mean, that's also pretty helpful, and I'm tempted to go with Egypt. But Babylonians are also great because every turn end we will gain 1 technology for free, and research is also inexpensive, so maybe I want to go with that. I think that's pretty great. We get 1 technology for free and we can research. I think that's what we're going to do. I might be completely wrong, so I will start with Babylonia. So that's our starting civilization. Again, this tells us we will start, or we will have 2 meeples at our disposal. This is our active ability, so as long as the Babylonians are our active civilizations, we will get this. But we also have a legacy. I think it's a legacy kind of thing. This will be in place for the remainder of the game. And really having a research -1 may be really a good deal, actually. Okay, so then we are taking... Oh, one thing I forgot. In the solo mode, for every, at least in this scenario, for every civilization we are taking, either active or annexing it, we are getting 2 coins. Then we have to take our actions, and we will take, or we are planning our complete turn. So here in this game, you're not taking any actions away in any way. We are placing our workers, we are resolving them, and then it's another player's turn. The only real competition in this game, also in the multiplayer, is in respect to the wonders and in respect to the civilizations. And when there is a military or war happening, then you can also hurt the other players, or get hurt by the other players, that is. Apart from that, it's really more or less a multiplayer solo, also with the multiplayer rules, but I think that works out pretty well. And those are the 6 actions that are available to us. Really, there are only 5 because this is face down. In a normal game, again, this would be also available to us. You typically always have 6 actions at your disposal unless you're dealing with a plague. But something we are not seeing in this scenario here. Farm will go away next round because this will move over here. The problem is we will see a war happening. And that much is clear because when this will move over, this will trigger this war icon here. And right now, the Empire has 2 strength points, and that's depicted by those science cube here, and we have 0. So that's definitely a bummer. So this would be a perfect reason to maybe we should have gone for Greece or maybe Persia. And I'm already starting to regret I have taken Babylon, but I will not take it back. I will try my best. Last time I played with Egypt for my starting civilization, so I really wanted to see how Babylonia actually feels. The problem now is, what am I going to do? Farm is great, gives us 3 coins right off the bat. Problem is I will have to send both of my meeples, and then I'm pretty much out. Research would be pretty nice too, actually, and maybe that's what I should be doing. Okay, I will send one of my meeples here to the hunt space, and then I will send one of those guys here to the research, because Babylonia gives us a discount of 1 on the research. So I think that's definitely a good thing. I will now resolve those actions, and I believe I can do that in any order. So I will start with the hunt. It's a white space, so I get this worker back. This one here means you have to sacrifice the workers you're sending there. I mean, we all knew how cruel and how devastating those wonders will be in respect to your population. But then we are triggering it. First of all, we will get a coin from that, no matter what. And then it says, if you have no science, right now we don't have any more science, we will get 1 victory point, which means we are storming the gate here. Hooray! Then we are resolving the research here. We will get another victory point. So we are also at 2. Nice. And then it says we will gain 1 technology. Of course, we have to pay for that space because it says so. And I get a discount of 1. So I only have to spend 3 of my money here. And this means we will get a technology. And I guess we are either going for the wheel now or for the mining. The problem is I think we want both of those, wheel and mining, sooner or later. I think wheel goes without saying, mining also. We also get a technology for free, and that's the end of my turn. I think that's really important to mention. So I think it doesn't really matter too much actually. So we will go with the mining for the action we have chosen. And yeah, then we are taking our meeple back. Then it's the end of my turn, and then my Babylonians trigger. And this says we will get another technology. So now I can go for the ironworking. Thing with ironworking, there is a great civilization out there actually, which would give us something. So I guess we are going for the wheel for now. On the other hand, here we would really make sure we are not losing the war, because it's very, very unlikely that they will hit us. But I guess let's gamble, because no, I think that's okay. We are going with the wheel now for our free action here, and that's already the end of our turn actually. So we are moving over to the empire, and when your turn ends, there is a turn for the empire that consists of 3 steps. First step, the empire takes 4 coins. That's cruel as it is. And as they started the game with already 2, they are now at 6 coins already. Then we are drawing 1 command card for the empire, which are those. So we will take the topmost card and place it on any command card that's already out there. Right now it's the first one, so we don't care about this one here. And I think that's kind of a good news, I guess, maybe, because this one says cultural influence, and we are following those command cards from the top to bottom. First command says the empire gains 2 victory points for each of the player's wonders. Right now we don't have any wonders, so we can simply ignore that. Next, if the empire has more victory points than the player, the empire will now spend coins equal to the difference. Right now they are not in the lead, so they are not spending any money on that. In this case, it may have been beneficial actually to be behind at least 1 point, because then or 2 points maybe even, because this would have meant they would have spent the coins rather on those victory points than the wonders. But this is something I will explain you. But for now, this doesn't do anything either. And then last but not least, those command cards also come with a legacy component here. So this bottom one will always be available until those cards are face up. And this one simply says the empire gains 2 more coins, which brings them to 8 coins in total. And now with the third step, if the empire has 7 or more coins, which they do now, they will spend 7 of those coins. So let's quickly do that to buy the leftmost wonder here, the Great Pyramid. They will totally ignore the text on the card. That's only true for the empire. We will still be able to leverage all those texts here, which definitely is important, obviously. So Great Pyramid goes basically over to the AI player. He's now, or the empire is now in the lead by 1. So they only need 3 more. I still need 4 of those wonders. And money wise, I'm not really in a great shape, but let's see what we can do about that. But that was already the end of the entire round. So we are moving this one over. In theory, there is now war, but we are triggering this ability here first. And this says, I think that's the Great Harvest or so, which says we will get 1 coin for 2 per meeple we have. Okay, per meeple, not per 2 meeples. So this says we are getting 2 of those. The empire doesn't have any meeples, so they're not scoring anything for that. That event is already out. Now we are dealing with the war that is happening. So we are comparing our military strength of 2, those 2 shields, versus the military strength of 2 of the empire, so each cube is worth 1 victory point for them, military point for them, apologies. And this means it's a tie, so no one is losing anything. But in this scenario, only I could lose a meeple. So let's say they would have had a third cube here, they would have won this war, and then I would have to sacrifice one of my precious meeples. Okay, but again, that's the end of the round. Now it's going back to me. And again, I could make a choice to go for another civilization, either rising a new civilization and sending my Babylonians to into decline, or I could annex a civilization and simply use the bottom legacy ability for that. But right now I still get technologies for free, so maybe I want to hold on to my Babylonians for now. Let's not do that. And keep in mind, the maximum civilization cards that you can have for the entirety of the game is 3. So if I take a second one now, I can only do that one last time. And I think right now it's a little bit too early for that, because when you take a new active civilization, you will also get pretty much a full pool of those meeples that are printed here. And I think right now I'm still in an okay shape. Let's see. Those are now the 3 actions that are, or 6 actions, 5 actions. I really should have made up my mind in the meantime, that are available to me. Farm is no more. Really a pity. That's 3 easy dollars here, or 3 coins, which I could have got. But yeah, this is really no longer available to me. But trade has opened up. Trade is cool. It gives me 2 coins for only 1 meeple. That's cool. But all the other players, and this includes the Empire, unfortunately will also gain a coin. Maybe not the worst thing in the world. So, and right now I'm really debating on really going for the trade, and maybe with the dollars we'll go for a wonder. Maybe that's what we should do. Yeah, why not? I think that may sound like a solid plan, actually. So we are going for a trade, and I think with a second meeple we will go and sacrifice this meeple here for a wonder. Again, I get to choose the order of things. We will start with a trade. This will give me 2 more coins. I take that. All the other players, i.e. the Empire, will get 1 coin, so they are now at 2. And then I'm resolving my wonder here. First of all, I have to spend 7 minus 2 because we have invented the wheel, so I have to spend 5 coins in total. So this brings me down to 2, which is okay. And I get to choose which wonder to go for. They're all somewhat okay. Again, we don't have a culture action. The Hanging Garden is definitely the weakest wonder out there, but the Hanging Garden is also the card that comes with the most coins. And again, coins is what makes the Empire take more wonders. So maybe that's still my best bet. And the other effects, they are okay, don't get me wrong, but all those wonders are typically not game breaking in any way. So I guess we are going with the Hanging Gardens, really. And we don't take those coins, unfortunately. We only have made sure that the Empire is not getting those coins. So the Hanging Garden goes over to our civilization. So right now we are tied, but that's okay, because we have sacrificed this poor fella here. Well, he goes back to the reserve, so we will start, in theory, our next round with only 1 meeple, but I guess that's still okay. And then we can still deal with our special ability for the Babylonians every turn and gain a technology for free. So let's do that. And I will totally go for the architecture, because this gives us 1 more victory point for the wonder, and I think I forgot that. And when we build, we will also get an extra victory point. But because we build a wonder, actually, maybe I shouldn't have forgotten those extra 3 victory points. Of course, this happened before I was getting my technology, so I'm not getting the bonus victory points, but definitely let's not forget to give us 1, 2, 3 more victory points. Okay, that's nice, and that's the end of our round. We are moving back to the Empire, and again they will get 4 extra credits. I almost said 4 extra coins. And then we are drawing our next command card, and it goes on top of the existing command card. And here we have the military action. First of all, the Empire gets 2 more of those science cubes, which are 2 more strength points. If the Empire has more military points than the player, the Empire pretty much now will pay money to get victory points equal to the difference here. We have 2 and they have 4, which means they are now spending 2 of their coins in order to score 2 more victory points. Again, the delta was 2 and they expended now 2 of their coins in order to score those 2 victory points. Next, the Empire will simply score yet an additional victory point, so they are also at 5. I will do that off camera, and then we are still triggering the card that's on the bottom here, so they will gain 2 more coins for that too, which brings them to only quote-unquote 6 of those coins. So they will not be able to buy another wonder this round. That's what I told you. Sometimes it's really beneficial that they will spend the money on those actions here rather than going for wonders, because if they really get a wonder each round, then I'm pretty much toast. And I think really this solo rules, at least for this scenario, it seems to be really extremely balanced in my mind. Then we are moving over to the next round. We will see another war. We already have seen that the Empire is stronger than we are, and this simply means we have to sacrifice our last meeple here. But that's okay. The plan was to go for another civilization anyway, I guess. And then we are moving into the next round. Again, I'm the starting player now, really should go for another civilization. In the theory, I could not take a rest action, so I'm not taking any actions whatsoever. This would give me 2 coins and 1 meeple back. But I think there might be better things to do. So what are we going for? Again, Egypt would be amazing because we would bring the wonder cost down by another $1. And I think we would be then able to build another wonder this round, but it's very likely that they will also build another wonder. Yeah, I think this will happen, relatively certain actually. So what civilization are we going for? Should we go for Greece again, which would give us 2 more, but we don't have a war immediately next round. Persia could be cool, but I think I should have really went for Persia earlier than that. So right now, Egypt is not bad, but the Hittites are also great because the research for ironworking is now free. It's now really the perfect time going for those guys, huh? Let's do that. Let's go for the Hittites. And again, I can rise the Hittites or I could annex the Hittites. This would still give me 1 extra meeple, but I think I want the 3 meeples for it. I mean, this is great, but I will get this also kind of free, the ironworking here. So I guess let's try to hold on to that for now. I think that's still a fair deal, which means we are getting 3 meeples and we are also getting 2 coins because again, we have taken over, or we have taken another card. And this will always give us 2 extra credits. And then we are taking our turn. This is now our new special ability. This comes with 1 extra military power. So we are now at 3 in total. And yeah, again, the research is free for ironworking. So I think that's goes without saying that we are researching here. I mean, it's free anyway, but let's go there. At least if we are going for ironwork, but that's the plan. We have still 2 more meeples out. Now is really more that we can do. And again, I'm debating to go. Conquest doesn't help me because I know I don't have the most military points. But with the Hittites, I would gain 2 coins for that. So that's also not a bad thing to go for. But right now, I'm really tempted to go for maybe trade or maybe research again. And again, the second research is also discounted by 1 because of the legacy ability of Babylonia. But I really need wonders. I really should go for a wonder instead. Yeah, let's do that. So in theory, there is this special event which tells me if I have the most wonders, I will score 2 immediate victory points. But yeah, it's not gonna happen, that's for sure. So I guess we are going for the trade again and maybe go for the wonder. We are losing another meeple, but we have to do it anyway, right? And maybe we can go for another civilization, maybe with the Egypt relatively soon, and then we will have 4 workers, and maybe that's okay. So we will go with the wonder here. Again, we will start with the easy one. This is free of charge because again of the Hittite special ability. It's a white space, so we get the worker back. We gain a victory point, so that brings us to 6. again, because we wanted it for free, we have to place our stone in here, but that's okay. So in total, we are now at 6 of those military points. That's not bad, at least until the Hittites are our active civilization here. That was the very first action, actually. Then we are doing the trade. Sorry for that. I take 2 coins, which is now enough to go for the wonder, but the problem is they will also get a coin for that. So they're now at 7, exactly what they need for another wonder. But they will get 4 more coins anyway at the start of the round. So this really doesn't make it big of a difference. Then again, we have to sacrifice a worker here, and in this case we have to spend 5 of our coins again because of our discount. So those are 5 coins. We are getting 3 plus 1 victory point. So that's 4 in total. So we are moving up to 10 victory points already. And then of course we have to choose a wonder. And right now I'm tempted to go for the Great Library because this would give me 2 extra points at the end of the game. So for each 2 technologies I would score a victory point. And we are taking this military cube away from them. Yeah, let's go with the Great Library again. This cube unfortunately we can't use, but we have built the Great Library. Very knowledgeable Hittites it seems. And that's pretty much the end of our round. And then yeah, they will get 4 more coins. That's really insane. This special place, they will draw their last command card, which is the technology trading, and that's certainly bad news. So the empire gets 4 coins because we have 4 technologies. Something maybe I should have considered, but I think it's still okay. So that's 4 coins. Then they will get 1 more cube. Then they will get a victory point. So they're moving up to 6. And then they're getting 2 more coins here. Wow. They're really in incredible shape, actually. So, wow, how many? I think they might really go for 2 wonders now, actually. But yeah, that's, that's the game. So, first of all, they will go with Petra here. So I may have lost the game, actually, now. And so they take the money for that, obviously. Then they will spend 7 more bucks to go with the partner. This gives them 3 more military strength. Also bad. And they are now at 3 wonders already. And we are at 2. So we basically need to get both of those. And I'm pretty sure that's not gonna happen because they also have still 4 more coins. Wow, I really think we shouldn't have gone for this first civilization, the Babylonians. I don't know actually what went wrong, but okay, we will still keep going, that's for sure. So we are moving into the next round. We are triggering this event. We are not getting any points, but also the AI, I believe, in this event doesn't get anything. Let me quickly confirm that. And in fact, when the celebration event occurs in round 4, I think that was round 4, yep. If you have more wonders, you score 2 points. The Empire won't score points if it has more wonders than you. Also, the Empire won't be affected by the Great House and the Birth Boom events. Yeah, I think I already mentioned that. Okay, at least they are not scoring any more points. But the big problem is, what am I going to do now? Should I go with another civilization now? We have the build available to us. And in theory, we could go with Nubia because Nubia only requires us to spend 1 worker on the build action. The thing is, I think victory point wise, we are okay. We really have to see what, yeah, I think we need money actually. So we have 2 of those. We have exploit and we have trade. In theory, this would give us some dollars to get us another wonder. And maybe that's the one thing that we're going to do. So I guess, yeah, we will go for a new civilization, and that's Egypt. So we will again use it as our active, or we are rising this civilization. So this gives us 4 meeples in total. The wonder discount is another 1, and they're all cumulative. And we also get 2 more coins for that. That brings us to 3 coins in total. Not great, and definitely not enough for wonder. We need 4 coins to build a wonder. So 1 more, which is okay. And the thing is now, I really don't know what card will come up first. So we are reshuffling those now. And it really depends now on the order of things, how those cards are being reveal, because this will make or break our game actually. If they get another wonder, we have lost. So maybe I really want to rather exploit than go for the trade, because again, oh boy, that's bad. And they have 7 military cubes. That's the bad news, because next we will also see another thing. But we will get another meeple here. So maybe that's also not the worst thing in the world. But we will lose 2 of our meeples. What are we going to do with our third worker then? Oh yeah, I think we have to do both. Actually, yeah, I think so. Oh, we have 4 workers actually. Oh, that's interesting now. I mean, one needs to go here. I mean, this goes without saying. And maybe one goes here or there, because we get another meeple back here. That's the birth baby boom event or so. Conquest? We could do conquest if we do, and we could go in here actually. But then we really need the most, and then we also need to, and we cannot afford to do a research, right? So what research? We only get 1 discount in research, so $3, and we need every dollar now to build 2 wonders. We need $8 in total to build those wonders, and I think we are 1 short. Yeah, we get the fish. We have to try it. Sorry for my babbling around here, but I think we will have to go in here. That's clear. And then we need to go for, do we need trade, or do I want to rather go for trade now and go for the build action instead? Because exploit I can always do, but trade here, but here I give them a coin, and every coin I give them could really hurt us actually. But we also get extra victory points for that. No, we will stick to the plan here. We will start with, I don't know, we will start, oh, that's also 2 bucks, right? Build is not free for us, but we get 2 discounts, that's fine. So we don't have to spend any dollars here, because we get 1 discount here and 1 discount there. So that's already great. So we are not losing any money whatsoever. We are also getting 1 extra victory point here. So in total, we will score 1, 2, 3 more points. And you see that victory point wise, you really can rush through this game in this scenario. It's really getting the money at the right time to get the wonders you need. But those was the build action. Then we are going for the trade action. We need the dollars here in order to really build our thing. So we are getting this meeple back. The AI, or the Empire, also gets a coin, so they are now at 5 already, so they will be able, it really depends on which card comes up. Oh, that's so bad. We have to sacrifice this worker here for $4 now. Again, we get both discounts here, so that's -3, 1, 2 and 3, so we have 1 more coin left for the next round. Oh, that's so bad actually. I think we will not make it. Okay, but let's build the wonder. This still gives us an extra victory point here, right? So that's 4 in total. 1, 2, 3 and 4. We are at 17. And in theory, it doesn't really matter too much, because we need them both anyway. But this comes with at least a special ability we might be able to leverage. So we are going with a great lighthouse. And this says when we go for a fishing action, we will pretty much not only get a coin, but also 1 extra victory point for that. But those were our actions for this round. And then we are moving back to the Empire. And again, I think we can only ever win if 1 particular card comes up here. And now I will not shuffle this. I think I will really then roll a die. But first of all, they will get 4 coins no matter what. So they have the money in order to go for. I will shuffle the deck for sure, but then on top of this, I will also roll a die. I think I don't want to be then the guy who said, yeah, you rigged the deck. That's not who I am. So we are going with our little jPlay die here. And I was really not counting on rolling a die. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's a 6, which means this card will come up first. And this will make or break our game for sure. And yeah, that's the wrong one. We have lost the game. So this one time, I was really hoping for a low result. Apparently, at least I didn't know, of course. Yeah, the wrong color came up, or the wrong number came up. The Empire will gain another 4 of those awful coins because I still have 4 technologies. They will get yet an additional military point. Again, that's really not that big of a deal for us. Yes, we will lose one of our dudes, but that's totally okay. I was really counting on that. But then, yeah, what they will do in step 3, they will cash in 7 of their coins for the last wonder. That's the Colossus, and that's pretty much game over because they have 4 wonders where I only have 3. It was really extremely close. Yes, in theory I could move on, but again, the objective is clear. At the end of round 6 you reach more points. That's really not a problem, and have more wonder cards than the Empire. We didn't succeed, so we can basically call it off. There's no abilities or actions where I could steal wonders from another player. It's not Tropico here. Whatever, get all those cool little buildings into your little Tropician island. I would consider to continue to play every now and then. So if you are really interested in seeing the other scenarios, I would totally go for those. Of course, you should only move on if you were able to defeat it. But again, I was able to defeat it during my very first run. Was very close too, but maybe I was more lucky in that. I used different civilizations, but I really wanted to try something else. But again, let me know. And then every now and then I might want to continue playing through those 5 scenarios, no matter if we are winning or losing, just to show you what this game has to offer for you in respect to the solo mode. Just let me know. And yeah, that's pretty much how you play Age of Civilization in the solo mode. Again, the game comes with 2 solo modes, so there is also something which is kind of a, I would say, beat your own score, but it's more than just that. So you can also play it completely independent of those scenarios. This simply gives you some more thematic backdrop for what it is you're trying to do here, which is really something I quite enjoy. I believe there is now also a version of this game that plays in space. Also looks very tempting. It also has the same footprint here in respect to, or similar footprint in respect to the amount of components. Also a micro kind of 4X game. Looks definitely interesting. I might really want to look out for this too. Huge shout out to all of my patrons as usual. Really do appreciate all your support. Again, if you want to support my show, you will find a link to my Patreon. It will pop up here during this video. There is a link in the description of this video. You can join my community here on YouTube by clicking that little join button. Like and subscribe. This also greatly helps. And yeah, really hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.